We're ready. Reaction time, baby! So, just so you know, we're both 2-0 on our special picks. And we're both 8-3. I'm 5-3 overall. Because we both missed the Randy Orton match. You missed the Hardys. And you missed the Hardys?
No, I missed the Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson one. Because I guarantee the Hardys are going to retain.
That's what I meant to say. You're right. Yeah, so Luke and Enzo, okay? And you got Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. I got Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, and Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, but then I also missed the women's. Your normal pick prediction for the women's is you did have Bayley winning,
but
then
I also had the upset.
At the end, you changed it to Alexa. Last minute.
Feel the bliss, baby. Reaction time. But overall, before going over the matches, it was a B, maybe a B minus pay-per-view. I wouldn't give it a C. There was a lot of matches that made it up to a B. I guess going down the card, our first match, Chris Jericho versus Kevin Owens.
That's not the first match. First match was Enzo and Cash.
Go like that, okay.
Yeah, because we got to do the kickoff show.
Kickoff show.
Can't forget about the lonely kickoff show.
The good old kickoff show. Sometimes those are just hit and miss.
A lot of times they are hit or miss. Yes.
It was a good match. It was an okay match. It wasn't anything too spectacular.
It was a kickoff match. That's what it was.
Exactly. The finish was okay. They were going for the Magic Killer and then Big Cass. Nice little big boot to the face to get Enzo with the roll up and get the W. It's all right. Both teams are kind of like in a toss-up right now. For me, that's why I kind of leaning toward the club. But I mean, all in all, it was a fair match to watch.
Yeah, I don't think it was nothing special. It was definitely a kick-off match.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times the kick-off matches are the same type of caliber match that you would get on Raw or SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nothing too fancy or anything.
Too fancy, right.
I definitely like that Enzo and Cash won because, like I said, I just think Enzo gets beat up so much that, he deserves to win every so often.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
But I definitely didn't think of anything was going to come out of the match outside of
course,
what they did already. So, but now, let's get to the main
card,
pay-per-view.
baby! The match that kind of, starting off, of course, was my Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. Now, I'm not going to lie, I did pick Kevin Owens to win this match.
Both did.
I didn't see any reason for Chris Jericho to win it. But after watching SmackDown last night, of course I see why.
We forgot that they like to do that. So, yeah.
The match was all in all pretty good. I don't think it was better than that WrestleMania match, though.
No.
Not to me, no. The whole kicking Chris Jericho, or the whole kicking Kevin Owens' hand within the steel steps was pretty innovative. What I didn't expect was Kevin Owens to tap out. That was the real shocker to me.
That one was a shocker because he's not a tapper.
And besides the fact I haven't seen anyone tap out to the walls of Jericho, it feels like in years.
Yeah, I think Sami Zayn has did it somewhat recently.
It was definitely nice seeing Chris Jericho, get his. If this truly is his final, I don't think so. I think with a little bit more, they may get him to pull back to come back after the Fozzy tour.
Well, he's gonna come back. As much as Chris Jericho likes being Fozzy in the band, doing that tour, he still has the passion for the business. That's why he's comes and goes like he does. And when he comes back, he doesn't just come back for a short time. He comes back for a year. Now, a solid, he's there at every pay-per-view. He's there at every Raw or SmackDown.
This is why I have so much admiration and respect for Chris Jericho. The fact of the matter is the guy can still go out there and go like he's 20-something years old. He can still put over guys or get himself over. His heel and face turns, they don't even bother me as much because it's a different heel or face turn. It's not like, okay, I'm going to turn heel and just get booed to get booed, or I'm going to turn face to get cheered just to get cheered. No, Chris Jericho has this personality, this persona that he can embrace, or you can just completely digest and disgust. But overall, the match, I think that the match was definitely a B+. It wasn't as best as their WrestleMania match, but it was still good nonetheless.
The next match, we had the Hardys versus Sheamus and Cesaro.
This match to me was pretty good, as of course I guaranteed my boys to walk out the Raw Tag Team Champions. A lot of people, I wouldn't say a lot of people, some of the people are detest because the Hardys have won the tag team titles. Here's the thing when it comes to the Hardys, man. These guys, done the Indies, TNA and everything like that. So a lot of these people know the Hardys as the Broken Hardys. If you're new fans to wrestling and haven't seen the Hardys, Attitude Era, Hardys, or even the Ruthless Aggression Hardys. So Vince knew what he was doing by trying to get them back in this ladder match at WrestleMania to put these guys over, especially with the Revival being out, Dash Wilder, his jaw. So they're kind of like placeholders until we can get these guys over, hopefully. It was a good match. It had some spots that they could have done better on. Overall, I think it was, like I said, it was one of those B+ matches. I wasn't really expecting a heel turn as of yet because I kind of wasn't really paying attention on the Raws with their singles matches. So it was kind of out of the blue, but it wasn't kind of out of the blue when they stood in the ring and they shook each other's hands and they walked back to the back, but you didn't see them walk back to the back. So I was like, oh yeah, well. And then they got the famous, I'm going to get on top of the ropes and I'm going to embrace the crowd and then BAM! Attack from behind.
Yeah, I didn't really care about the match all that much. Nothing against anybody who wrestled the match. It's just, the whole pay-per-view in whole wasn't very entertaining.
No.
But I mean, they did what they had to do. They went out there and like I said, they did what they had to do to advance the storyline.
Of course.
Of both teams. Whether they split up and they go separate ways,
right,
or they continue, feuding with each other. Definitely still have no problem with the Hardys being champions. Have no problem with Sheamus and Cesaro being heel. Sheamus has a really good heel. Cesaro, it's been a little while since I've seen a Cesaro heel, so I'm gonna have to refresh myself a little bit. But I'm not worried. I definitely think they're gonna be a solid heel tag team.
Of course, here's the thing. I don't have an issue with Cesaro being heel. I love Cesaro, but the thing about it is that the guy was way over as a face, but the powers that be, hello Vince, will not let Cesaro be a singles competitor because he feels that Cesaro is boring. But I guess we can talk about that another time. Moving on, Austin Aries versus Neville. This match was one of the matches I was kind of looking forward to, and it was an okay, decent match for what I remember. I have a hard time, really watching cruiserweight matches, because some of them are just really really lackluster. No offense against these cruiserweights. Like, I definitely enjoyed Jack Gallagher and Neville back at Fastlane. But to me, it's definitely kind of hard to watch some of these cruiserweights wrestle. I'm not gonna lie to you. But this match was okay. I was legit pissed about the finish because I did kind of guarantee Austin Aries to win. Although he did win, he did not win the championship. As you can see, the title does not change hands via count out or disqualification when Neville threw the referee, which basically wasn't even really a throw. He kind of just grabbed his shirt as he was being put into submission and kind of just threw him off to the side. And I kind of wanted it to continue like how Dean Ambrose and The Miz was on SmackDown when he was going to DQ The Miz, but they kept the match going. But they DQ'd him, and I was low-key a little bit pissed.
Actually, see, I'm not a big cruiserweight fan in general, but I think it was actually probably not the best match, but probably one of the best matches.
It was one of the best matches. That's what I'm saying. It takes a lot for me to get in tune with a lot of these cruiserweight matches because, okay, you have one guy that may do the flipping and everything and all that stuff like that, like Kalisto, or you may have a guy like a Jack Gallagher who's a cruiserweight, but he's more of a technical, submission type of guy, So all in all, it was definitely one of the better matches on the card as far as the pay-per-view whole itself. And that's all I'm going to say about that match. We won't go more into detail in that. To me, the horrible match on the card was the House of Horrors match with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. And the reason I say it was horrible, gimmick matches that are like these matches, pre-recorded, and then they come into the ring. I did have Randy to go over when I thought the WWE Championship was on the line, but like I was telling my former counterpart here, that they removed the title from the picture like 2 weeks prior. So basically, it's funny that the last world champions, including AJ Styles for the WWE Universal Championship, have yet to receive one-on-one rematches. John too, Finn Balor, Goldberg. We won't count Goldberg because you only had that one contract. But a lot of these guys that have been former world champions have yet to receive their rematch clauses for one-on-one matches. And I understand, Bray gets drafted to Raw. Okay, that's mighty fine. But the match within itself, like I said, it was pre-recorded, of course. Wasn't really anything exciting to me. Like I said, me and Murray were texting each other during the entire time of the match, or they tried to make it seem, a House of Horrors match. They're in San Jose, California. What is it, 7 or 8 o'clock our time? And I know here, where we're stationed are, it's just now turning dark. And where they pull up, it's already it seems like almost midnight. That's all I'm gonna say about that match. I wasn't a fan of it. Don't know who came up with it, but to me, I will say this: I felt the Ambrose Asylum match was a lot more better than what we had to deal with, even though it was a steel cage match. But I'm gonna just leave it at that. Take it away.
Well, actually, so I didn't like the concept of the match, but I like the fight in the house. I like that whole. I thought it that part was good.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Okay.
So the whole concept still is still recorded. They messed up with the nighttime when it actually was daytime there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no big deal. But at the same time, the wrestling part of it, the fight scene of it, I guess you say, because it was more like a fight scene.
The fighting was okay,
but I definitely like that. Now, I didn't have no problem with the whole, even with it being splitted in between a match, because Seth Rollins and Samoa Joe had their match in between. Mm-hmm. And then when they came back, when they both were in the arena, I definitely had no problem with that either. Mm-hmm. Didn't particularly care about the finish, but the finish makes sense. So overall, I actually liked it. It just, the concept of it,
it could have been
but
better.
it was executed. I think probably the best that they could have done with the concept that I didn't, I said I don't like.
That you didn't really
but
care for.
I did think I did enjoy it. So
Of course.
It's a little different, but yeah.
Because I want to, we can do it like that. So, the last championship match that we had was the women's championship match. And I'm not going to lie to you, evidently, Vince's mind was being changed. I'm just reading off, Bleacher Report and Meltzer and everything like that, that his mind changed like 3 times during the entire 3 times that day before the pay-per-view even started. So I did kind of predict that Bayley may go over, but I've realized of a couple of years, watching, matches like John Cena versus Edge at SummerSlam in Boston, or John Cena versus Edge in Toronto and the TLC match at Unforgiven. I realize I think Vince likes to piss people off when it comes to hometown heroes, because some of these people don't win. Besides Naomi, of course, but I thought that Bayley would go over. But then, thinking back how Vince thinks, especially when it comes to his baby Monday Night Raw, that he would let Alexa Bliss go over. And I have no issue with Alexa Bliss going over. I actually like Alexa. Her ring skills could be improved, but she's definitely eye candy. She's definitely has some good mic skills. She's definitely a better heel than a face. And you guys going back, that Alexa was definitely a face before in NXT, before she joined up with Blake and Murphy when they became NXT Tag Team Champions against Simon Gotch and Aiden English. But she's definitely improved. Of course, it's going to take some time, ring skills and everything like that. Takes time, people. But the match in itself was an okay, fair match. I didn't have any issues with it. Maybe the finish, but I mean, she's a heel, so I can't really get mad at the fact of how she won. But, like I said, all in all, it was an okay, fair women's match there for me. I didn't have an issue with Alexa Bliss going over. It was definitely a fun match to see, and we'll see what the Raw's women division has to put forward moving into the summer, especially with SummerSlam.
I actually think it was a really good match. I definitely think probably one of the top matches of the night.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't surprised that Alexa won. I only went Bayley because I same thing, thought he would truly let the home crowd champion,
right?
Yeah,
of course.
Win. But like I said, not surprised because same thing.
Like I said,
John Cena lost in Boston, and Edge lost in Toronto.
Right.
Naomi winning was a little different, one because of that WrestleMania for one,
and two, and she was already supposed to be the champion during that time, but because of her leg injury, they want to make sure she was all right and everything like that. So of course, with that being said, I mean, like I said, it was a fairly good match. It was one of the good Demon matches of the year, in my opinion, so far. It wasn't that top, like, oh, Murray, it was a great match. No, it wasn't like that. But at the same time, it was captivating and it was good. Final 2 matches that I liked, of course, Seth Rollins and Samoa Joe. Now, I did expect Seth Rollins to go over. Just for the simple fact of the matter is this feud is by far from over. Seth Rollins did give Samoa Joe his first pay-per-view loss. If any of you guys watch NXT, you know that Samoa Joe, well, he did lose to Shinsuke Nakamura, but that's neither here nor there. He hasn't lost a WWE pay-per-view.
Well, that's his first pay-per-view. But now he hadn't lost.
No, remember he lost. He beat Sami Zayn at Fastlane.
Whatever. That don't matter. Sami Zayn's nobody. It's his first singles loss on the main roster. Technically, that's what it was. Nobody had beaten him in a singles competition.
Right. I do think that this rivalry is definitely going to be good as far as moving forward. I dearly do hope that Seth does stay healthy, because I definitely know with knee injuries, anything could happen. As far as that, the match was in itself. It wasn't as brutal as everyone expected it to be, and you can't really expect that because Raw does have Extreme Rules, so be looking out for them to have a match there. Maybe a no holds barred match, Extreme Rules match, whatever the case may be, Falls Count Anywhere match. I expect them to have some type of gimmick match where it's not a gimmick, but you know, like one of those matches where it has to be hardcore. Maybe even a last man standing match because of Seth Rollins' knee. That's what I expect.
Yeah, overall, I did like the match. I'm not a big Samoa Joe fan. I definitely like Seth Rollins. So yeah, I'm glad he won, got over. I think it's going to continue to help building him until. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually gets the Intercontinental Championship and holds that for a little while to help make that a little more prestigious. And also, since the Universal title's not on Raw, him being kind of the guy.
And not saying that Dean Ambrose isn't making it prestige, but it's just the fact that for me and Murray, we kind of, like I said, we talked about this earlier, just not on camera. We just want to see what are they going to do with Seth Rollins. That is one of our main focuses, especially with Brock Lesnar being champion. But the last match of the night, definitely saved this pay-per-view. I definitely predicted it. Braun Strowman not only winning, but going over clean. This match was definitely brutal. I understand, people were like, oh, well, they handed Roman Reigns some blood packs, whatever the case may be. Of course, they were blood packs. It was still an interesting match. The match within itself was definitely good. It made Roman Reigns look strong, although he did lose. But it also made Braun look like this indestructible man. What is it saying again? Mountain among men?
Mountain among men.
It definitely made Braun Strowman look amazingly strong. He didn't really have to do anything really fancy. He beat the whole steel steps thing. That's what captivated me. Now, I've never seen anybody I've seen people get hit with steel steps, but Jesus Christ. The ending of the match, when Braun's, laying out these power slams and everything like that, I didn't expect Roman Reigns to be beaten off a bunch of power slams, running power slams at that. It was definitely a good match. The ending of the pay-per-view, when he's going to the back and they still beat the hell out of him, it was a great finish to a okay yet but kind of crappy pay-per-view to me.
I definitely enjoyed that match. I do feel bad for Roman Reigns because he's still, even with the passing of his brother, even with him going out there supposedly hurt. Obviously he's not hurt, but still with all the stuff that goes on,
right? As far as
he gets
family,
the crap beat out of him, and the crowd still cheers. Thank you, Strowman. Now, like I said, you can hate Roman Reigns, but I feel at some point you gotta cut him a little slack because he's doing what he's being told to do, and he's
just like we are.
He's
pulling up to work right now.
He is honestly doing probably the best that he can with that. So I definitely feel bad, but at the same time, like I said, definitely wanted Strowman to go over, and I was
definitely happy. Do not be surprised because they are 1-1, so do expect a match.
They're actually not 1-1. Reigns beat them twice already.
Well, expect a match at Extreme Rules, and I think the winner of that will go on to face Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire. We'll make another video for that one, so I definitely want to talk about that pay-per-view. But expect that, like me and Murray said, expect that match to be a gimmick pay-per-view, to be a gimmick match, whether it be an ambulance match or stretcher match in this case, but definitely expect it to be a gimmick match at Extreme Rules for Monday Night Raw.
I think it's going to be an ambulance match. That's what I think it's going to be. But I don't know. But anyways, guys, like the video.
Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. This is Murry and Qeyante signing off.